This is the Lian Li SUP-01 case. It's a pretty unusual case for sure because the layout is everything but traditional. It's all mixed up in there. Things are not where you would expect them to be. But that does not change the fact that it's a great case and that we are finally seeing some innovation with new cases. Word from our sponsor, and we shall check this case in detail. Looking for affordable Windows or Office keys? Look no further, I got you covered. Head over to scdkey.com, pick your Windows edition, use my discount code LE25 to get a 25% on any Windows or Office products. Once you complete your order, after a few seconds you will receive your code. In Windows, go to Settings, there should be an Activate Windows prompt at the bottom. Click that, enter your code and wait for Windows to finish activation. To check the activation status, use the command prompt with the command slmgr.vbs/xpr and you should receive a notification that the machine is permanently activated. Once again, use code LE25 at scdkey.com. If you look at it in its default state right out of the box, a non-tech savvy person would be puzzled at best. I mean, there is a motherboard tray there is a PCI riser, but why is it so shallow inside? What's with the mesh in the front? Why no fans in the back? Why no fans in the front? So what kind of case is this? To answer all of these questions, let's take it step by step, starting with the dimensions and volume of this case. 403 deep, 212mm wide and 534mm high with the volume of 44.8 liters. First, the front, it's that perforated mesh front which can act as dust filter at the same time but still have plenty enough opening to pass the air inside, and in here we have double the mesh, but I do recommend that you do not use the inner one as it will restrict the airflow more for this opening in the front. And no, it's not where the fans go, this is where you mount a GPU. Yes, a full-size behemoth of a GPU can fit here without any issues and it will suck the fresh air directly from the outside, hence the PCI riser here as well. This is a pretty large card, but not a problem here. You just slide this here, screw it in, and voila, you have a front mounted card here. But that is not all. Check this little thing up here. It is used to secure the card firmly in its place. It is adjustable both up and down and in depth as well to accommodate all card thicknesses. In case you have an even larger card, you can slide the whole thing a little bit down using the complete mounting mechanism, since it has two sliding rails or positions in which it can be set both up or down about an inch, but also left or right, so you can center the GPU. Once you are satisfied with the position, just use the provided screw to secure the bracket in place. The clearance for the GPUs are up to 400mm in length and up to 88mm in thickness, so beefy cards like Monster 4090 models can fit here easily. This card here is the 6900 XT. It's a pretty large card coming at 332mm in length and 61mm in thickness. It fits here with room to spare. Regarding the front panel, Lian Li did something cool with it. It's a part of name now. The Lian part is also a power button, while the Li is the reset button. Both have corresponding indicators on the bottom as well. It's a clever idea and I like this approach. The inner part of the case is the usual and unusual at the same time. There are rubber grommets on both bottom side and on the motherboard tray, but there are also cutouts for the new back connect motherboards that have all the connectors on the back for that cableless look. Classic motherboard sizes can fit here: ATX, Micro ATX and ITX as well. The included riser is not fixed into the position, you can move it depending where your PCI slot is on your motherboard. But you can't use GPUs here in normal orientation since the case clearance is only 80mm. This puts you in a tight space position regarding cooling solutions. Luckily, almost all AIOs can fit here, but some low-profile CPU coolers will have issues. In the bottom area there is this mirror-like piece, but there is a little screw on the side indicating that there is something there. And yep, two 2.5-inch SSD spaces are present here. We are having this clever way to hide them, and the mirror top adds some fake depth to the case. The back side of the case reveals those half-sized PCI slots. There is also a cable running out from the PCI riser. This is for the RGB part of it, of course, and you do get these Velcro straps on the side for neat cable organization on your desk. The PSU installation is done via the bracket, so completely outside of the case, which I like more than any other method. There is of course a dedicated dust filter here as well, but also this neat thingy. If you remember the Lian Li 216 case, it has a fan in the back to help cool the GPU. Well, we have the same approach here. A sliding fan bracket for 120mm fan that can be positioned in such a way so it can distribute fresh air to the front but also to the back chamber of the case, and you'll see why this is important in a bit. The right side of the case is a completely mesh open panel, fully open for air intake but also exhaust, because once you remove it you see that there are some fans here and a room for more. One bracket here is used for the exhaust fans and the other one is used for an AIO, since this is the most viable cooling solution for this case. You can take both brackets out, but you can't change their places since they won't fit, because both of them have rubber pins on the bottom to help with the vibrations that fans can produce, and both pins are not spaced equally, so therefore you can't mix the bracket places. The fans here are 120mm in size, PWM, and are capable of up to 1800 RPM going all the way from 300. In the bottom area there is a hard drive cage capable of housing two 3.5-inch drives or two 2.5-inch drives, or you can completely remove. The PSU area can accept up to 210mm PSUs, but if you remove the hard drive cage, the complete bottom section is open for cable mass hiding. The I/O panel is on the side of the case. It's a strange thing, but if you think about it, this case is meant to stand at the right side of the desk, so placement of I/O panel is natural then, and it includes MNC buttons, which are used for the RGB strip that is spanning across the bottom edge of the side and on the front of the case. It has mic and headphone combo jack, USB-C port, and two USB 3.0 ports. The AIO installation is a bit fiddly here, since you have to remove the top panel and brackets that acts as a support for those brackets for the fans at the back, to pass through the AIO pump in the front chamber while the radiator remains at the back chamber. Bit fiddly but doable of course. 360 or 280mm rads can be mounted here. And as mentioned, no fans at the top nor in the front of the case because of the GPU obviously. To attach the PCI riser to your GPU, which is 4.0 compatible by the way, you need to remove all the brackets, secure the GPU in place, mount the PSU riser on it, route all the cables, as this is a really necessary step for all the cables to be in place, as they might obstruct the airflow of the fans or simply go dangling in there creating nasty noises. So do your job with cable management. At the very bottom of the case you can see case feet with rubber for anti-slipping on the desk and also protecting it. It has a dust filter for the PSU here, and of course here are the two screws that hold the hard drive cage in place. So how does this case performs? Well, I have mixed feelings, primarily for the CPU but also for the GPU. I use the Ryzen 5 7600X here paired with RX 6900 XT, which is not that hot card since it has a massive cooler on it. So while gaming, things were messy, 75 degrees for the CPU and 65 for the GPU, and everything was running pretty hot around the case. But once the rear fan was added, things were changed for the better. CPU 55 degrees while gaming and 57 for the GPU, which is a significant drop in temperatures using only one 120mm fan at the back, which pushes more fresh air in both the front and back chamber of the case. The exhaust fans are pushing hot air directly from the GPU to the outside, so the use of the rear fan is a must, and I would have liked if the bracket would accept 140mm fans, because there is space for that fan. It's a very specific case combining dual chamber elements with some ITX elements from SSUPD cases, which is actually Lian Li's sister company. So this case is at very least unique, and I give it credit for being bold to do something that other cases haven't done. But I still have some mixed feelings, especially for AIO placement. Somehow I feel there needs to be more space for the fans, as I feel that everything is crammed inside. But in the end it all works somehow. This case is available in black or white color for $149.99, which is for this kind of case a bit pricier than I would give it. I don't know, $120 seems fine in my head, but I guess that PCI riser raises the price here. All in all, it's a cool case, giving you unique styling and building experience like nothing before. It all ties in this beautiful package here. So let me hear your thoughts about this case. Would you buy it, try it, or skip it? In the meantime, sub to the channel, like and share the video, and I'll see you in the next one.